Hold on one second. Hey, Tor, let me get a chicken wing, brother. Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna make a joke about how I was on a black podcast and the host got a chicken wing right in the middle of the fucking podcast.
Right in the middle of the podcast. Yo, what it do, what the business is right now. Y'all tuned into the Hustle Reset Podcast, but it's a special edition. It's the pop-up podcast because we down here at the Vintage Sofa Bar. Man, I'm coming in here to chop it up with all of the bar guests. I'm gonna let them sit down, have a one-on-one conversation with me or a group conversation with me. Either way, we finna podcast. We're gonna get into some real conversations that probably y'all ain't never heard before, and we're gonna do something else too that y'all ain't never heard of. We finna do some bologna sliders. I've never had one before. This might be a black bar on the low. They got bologna sliders. I don't know. Let's see what's going on. Come on. How important is sex for a female? I'm sorry with you.
I say it's very important because I feel like a lot of females, that makes us feel wanted and sexy and beautiful and loved. Like if you got a man that don't ever want to touch you or do that, more intimate stuff, as a woman, you start feeling bad about yourself. Like, am I not hot enough? I'm not cute enough? Why don't he want me?
If you find somebody that you can match with like that and go with like that for that long, then the kind where you be in the rocking chair, goddamn sitting like this, goddamn later on, you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not gonna have a sexless marriage. I think sex is just as important as a love, intimacy, and loyalty. It's gotta be. It's gotta encompass that. Absolutely. And I can't stand when people decide to not have sex with a partner anymore, and then well, why did they cheat on me, or why did
they're gonna cheat on you.
They're gonna cheat on you for not touching them, and you're making them. It's more than just not without sex. You're making them feel bad, and I'm sure it makes men feel the same way.
It's like, I guess how you mesh, and you gotta be selective in your partner and kind of have a sense of yourself before you try to add somebody else to your equation. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. She's gonna have to make sacrifices, and you have to find a common ground. So it's not always gonna be you making a sacrifice, and it shouldn't always be her making a sacrifice. So that's the thing, is trying to always find that common ground. And if kids are in the picture, you gotta also consider children as well.
That's what everybody strive for. That's what everybody looking for at this point in life, man. We too old not to look for that rocking chair love.
There's new evidence coming out that says Tory Lanez might be innocent.
She was on the sidewalk, sitting down, and she said, I didn't get shot, I stepped on glass. What more is there to say?
No, I know that, but what I'm saying... No, but what I'm saying is, if...
She said she didn't get shot, so with that being said, she lied on oath, she lied in the courtroom.
You picked the wrong group of girls.
No. Oh my God, no.
And then my boy got stabbed up while he was on the inside, so Megan, I love you, but hey.
Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, how y'all?
Crazy. That was a wicked transition.
Why he hurt that girl?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
Did he not?
Wait, wasn't he just moving?
Have you seen new stuff? I have seen the new stuff that has come out. I have seen the new stuff. Okay.
All right, so what's your thing?
I don't think he did none of that.
I don't think he did either.
That's just a hard thing to even, I can't judge nobody.
We're probably not ever gonna have an exact clear answer and know exactly what went down, who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
Well, I just think there's a lot of contradiction in the story.
And whose story?
His story. And what's Ashley? What's her name? The girl? Yeah, the Kelsey.
We can't really relate to that because we ain't never been in the situation where we've been blackout drunk shooting at somebody. I have.
Because that's a very specific thing to say, dance, bitch.
Okay, dance, bitch is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you something. The worst court in the world is the court of public opinion.
Why would you go to jail for something you didn't do?
The same way a real nigga would take a charge for their homie because he didn't do it. I'm gonna stand by the code.
Who's the code? Who's the code with?
It's with Kelsey because Kelsey the one that shot him.
Okay, so you so stupid that you gonna go to jail. I don't care about the code. Yeah. You so stupid, you gonna go to jail for how many years? Because somebody else shot him and you're not gonna say, you're like, it doesn't make sense to me.
How many years he got in jail?
I think he had a 10-year sentence, and then after he got out, he was gonna have to be deported back to Canada. But
so you telling me if your best friend shot somebody and you know you didn't do it, you gonna go to jail for 30 years for your homie?
Nah, but I won't tell on him. But hopefully,
but
hopefully my friend would be like, nah, I'm gonna take my charge.
But she ain't doing that.
most females can't do the time, and a man, me being a man, and they was fucking with each other. They were fucking each other. So he like, I know if a chick I'm fucking getting in some trouble, and I'd say I eat the charge for you. Don't worry about it, because that's my lady.
That's just crazy logic.
I don't understand that.
But I'm a man. I can do the time.
That doesn't make you any other man that not take it.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So I'm supposed to snitch on my girl?
If he did that shit, yeah. Yes. I stand by, if you're doing bad shit with me around, don't count on me to hold that shit. I can't lie.
No.
I'm a snitch.
I don't think he knows what's going on. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't keep up with the Kodak Blacks and all that.
Yeah.
AOV tonight.
You ain't have any other forms of marketing? Anyway.
So he's a comedian, the first guy you're gonna have on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen him before.
I haven't either. That's what the platform is for. So
okay.
Anybody that people haven't seen, shit, we follow them now.
Ty McLaurin on Instagram. Ty McLaurin Jokes. Working comedian based in Charlotte. On pace for 100 gigs this year. I think I've done about 40 so far over 5 different states. So just working hard.
We got the Indian woman right here with the black man. I know this something on the range. Damn, so how long have you not been talking to your family?
So I'm right now where comedy is beginning to be profitable.
Right.
So because the first couple of years you're just kind of taking any stage time. You're driving here, you're driving there.
Right.
So, sometimes it ain't even gas money. But now I'm starting to get where I'm getting the bigger gigs. I'm getting into more clubs.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to work as hard as possible right now to be crisp every time I go out. What made you get into podcasting?
I got into some trouble back in. It happened back in 2023. I got into some trouble and stuff. And my court date was October 2024. I thought I was going to prison. But I didn't end up going to prison. I ended up getting probation.
Thank God.
Thank God. I had a great lawyer. I had a great legal team. The judge was, oh my gosh, she was phenomenal. So I just wanted to tell my story. And I did music.
Yeah.
And I like, if I do music, a lot of people probably won't hear it. So I like, maybe if I do a podcast, it'll reach more people, and it did. Yeah. It did.
Whether it's music, comedy, whatever art you do, I think, and podcasting, whatever you do, I think it's got to be stuff from your life, what you lived out, things that have been real to you. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a unique story, one that needs to be told, one that's unlike anybody else's.
Right. Yep.
What made me really get into towing is like seeing how, diluted and how expensive and how risky it was to get into the semi-trucking industry. So towing became something local because I have kids and something that I can make more than trucking money doing, and I'm helping people.
I went into teaching. My entire family is full of educators. So
yep, mom was my teacher.
Mom's side, dad's side, teachers, principals, and so I think some things are just a calling.
Yeah, so I do hair still, and then I bartend at 2 bars. I bartend at Hungry Palate and I bartend at CB's on Saturdays. 2 to 2 on Saturdays. Come see me.
Just trying to be as real as I can be, you know what I mean? And trying to make people think some. When people think about stuff, trying to be thought-provoking, trying to get people to see things from my perspective, some of the funny things that have happened in my life, some of the traumatic things that have happened.
Right.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Say that shit.
Yeah. But I still got an open court case. Bitch, I hate my sister.
Life is gonna beat you up, right?
That's a fact.
But, I think we got to find some way to put that into punchlines.
Right.
Some way for that to be encouraging.
As a bartender, I'm gonna flirt. And I flirt with the women and the men. Like, I love all my people. Like, I love everybody. I love seeing everybody have a good time.
Right. This is my kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, there's just something far more rewarding to those of us who choose this profession than just, like, how much money we're making.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people have said they got LLCs. But what I found out is that a lot of people do not understand what that is and how powerful LLCs are. And so what I want to do is do a workshop showing people how to save thousands of dollars in income tax.
You know, life is gonna beat you up, right?
That's a fact.
But you know, I think we got to find some way to put that into punchlines.
Right.
Some way for that to be encouraging. You can laugh at life or you can cry.
So the government wants to make rules about how people can spend their food stamps and SNAP benefits.
Americans are facing the possibility of benefits they depend on being diminished. The bill cuts federal funding for SNAP by about $267 billion.
What do you think?
No, I really don't believe they should be able to tell you that you can't get a little sweet treat.
I'm going to say I think there are limits. Like, I don't think you should spend SNAP benefits on alcohol.
You can't.
Okay, but
There already are limits imposed.
Like, okay, but my dad, I'm getting hyped, but like, huh? No.
You really can't argue against it because you know how people is, though.
Look, the way the Trump administration works is they change the rules all the time, right? And so
some black people, they go sell their shit for some cash. They did on drugs or come on with some other excuse. So
the question was, do I think there should be limits on SNAP? Yes, I think there should be.
But there already are limits.
Do I think there should be limits
on cookies
in terms of cookies?
and what you can buy like that? No, of course not.
No.
It's gonna be a little boy in the hood turning 3 years old and he needs a cake. And mom only got SNAP benefits. She should be able to get a cake. That's all I'm saying.
Have you been following the Puff Daddy and Cassie situation?
I can't say I have.
Do you feel like Diddy's guilty or of a crime or guilty of just being a big freak?
We have people like Epstein, like Diddy, who, you know, have gotten to a certain level where they feed off of sick, kind of demented habits or activities to fuel or give them some feeling. So I feel like there is a line that Diddy definitely crossed with multiple people, and there's multiple people probably involved.
He's guilty of being a freak. Now, the only thing I think is a crime is if he drugged people that was not knowing that they're being drugged. If he was drugging people that didn't know they were being drugged, okay, then yes.
Right.
But if you came there knowing what went on, you're taking that risk if you already know what goes on.
I don't want to come across disrespectful or hard-hearted to what any female's going through in any situation.
Right.
But I do think I hear females, oh, I need a sugar daddy, or I want me an older man, or somebody to take care of me.
Right.
I think all those things come with a price.
I don't feel like there should be anything that you could do to make your man beat your ass like that. And the whole she's trying to get away from him, it looked like.
So y'all are Team Cassie?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I mean, there's not enough.
Hold on.
Her in general, just a whole, like in a whole grand scheme of things, Diddy fucked up. Now, the house party, I would have been there, but I wouldn't have done all the extra shit.
You gotta remember, Cassie was 19 years old when she first got with him. And here's this rich, powerful man that's gonna get you in the industry, and you're a 19-year-old girl. It's gonna be hard to turn that down or feel confident enough being with a man to not do what he asks of you. I feel like when you're 19 and that's, you know what I mean, you're a young girl.
Right. I think sometimes, and this is females and males, but I think sometimes when we're young, we see something, we get excited about it. You know, I know your story, I got some stories in my life. You see something, you get excited about it, you think this is awesome, this seems like the golden ticket, and then you jump right into it, and then the next thing you know is that, you know, there's stuff in the small print.
So I feel that's a lot happens with women. They get with some men in power and they feel forced. The man makes them feel forced, or I'm gonna take away, you know, everything you've got going, and they feel like they can't have that. So like, I feel like it's bad in that way. She was 19, she wasn't old enough, you know what I mean? And then she got with Ennis for so many years. I don't feel like she knew any different. Like, that's what happens in an abusive relationship like that.
And I'm not saying that anything that happened to her was right. And I'm not saying anything that Jeffrey Epstein or any other abuser did was right. I just think like females got to be super careful because they see the glamour, they see the money, and then they get in these situations, and nothing is free.
I feel like, based on what I'm hearing, I don't understand what a crime at right now.
That's what. Tell the camera what you just said.
And like, we admire the art, but at a certain point, we got to hold each other accountable as men.
I think that the situation is terrible, and I hope that she's okay as a victim.
I don't think she's a victim, though.
It's debatable.
So you would have said no if it was some crazy shit, right?
Yeah, I would have known.
Because you're an adult, right?
Right.
If you were 19, would you have been an adult and had your own free will?
I thought I was that at 19.
And then the video, what happened back in 2008, why did it just come out now?
I don't know what Diddy had going on, but I feel like it was something that the higher up didn't want him to continue to go on. And that's always happened. They always get to a certain level of success to where a scandal gonna bring them down.
I think he got into it with a company. And I'm not saying this is related. And I'm not saying he didn't do it.
Was it Devion?
It was Delagio. Delagio owns 200 liquor brands. And he had a deal with Ciroc. and then he had a deal with it's called DeLeon Tequila. DeLeon Tequila was not giving him his fair share of money, and they were not doing good business. And they were like, hey, what are you gonna do about it? And he was like, my people are going to ride with me and be on my side. And as soon as he said that, the stuff came out. And I just don't think that's a coincidence. That's all I'm saying.
But they know how to spin the narrative so they can get your people not to be on your side. Yeah. Go ahead. I feel like you want to say something.
As much money and the type of lifestyle that they live, I mean, don't nobody have to nobody make nobody do nothing in their lifestyle.
Where is Vince McMahon's, why he ain't in jail? He ain't in jail? Where's Vince McMahon at? Right. Name me somebody else that got done this dirty.
Durant.
What I'm saying is there's only certain people that get this. Yeah. That's my problem.
And they like to make an example out of a wealthy black man.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not even saying like that. It's not cool. I feel like everybody should be equal. If you did some fucked up shit, everybody should go to jail. Everybody should get persecuted. But it's only like people that feel themselves a little too hard. Right. And Diddy was definitely feeling himself.
Look, he's done so much that has been a capstone for African American people and progress. Diddy has been. Right. And it's terrible to see him in this situation now. And it seems like his career and everything he's done is all kind of hanging on what happens in this court trial. I hate to see it.
Hey, y'all, we just wrapped up a dope podcast down at the Vended Sofa Bar. Man, follow me on all my social media platforms, the Hustle Reset Podcast. It was a great day. Follow, like, share, subscribe. We out.